Okay guys, I don't understand what is going on with Boulder, but clearly there's something more important going on there that I don't quite understand. And now I'm not even sure like what the true ending is anymore. Because the death one seemed important in some way, but the other one was like the happy ending. So I don't understand. But we just gotta continue on and befriend Stelsa Sezyat, who looks very happy to see us, I think. Okay, so it turns out stealing a car was easily one of your better impulse decisions. You've gotten accustomed enough to its weird insides by now that the squishiness doesn't much faze you anymore. It still feels like the warm stomach of some giant creature, but you actually find it kind of comforting. You can just let yourself get enveloped by the seat while the autopilot does its thing. Getting ferried through the streets of Alternia with your feet up on the dash sure beats endlessly pounding the pavement. Sometimes you even throw Saraba's stream on your phone if you really want to get a chill vibe going. You're surprised that you haven't been caught yet. Dastardly carjacker that you are? But maybe you're just a better thief than you've always thought. A possible career change to look into when, if, you ever get back to Earth. The downside is that it's a little difficult for you to further your goal of gathering even more friendship from the insides of a vehicle, so you park the scuttle buggy and expose yourself to the menaces of the outside world once more. You're in what looks like some sort of residential neighborhood. It isn't as nice as the blue blood neighborhoods you've seen, but still nice enough for most of the apartment complexes to have imposing locked front gates and security drones. But of course you can't take a leisurely stroll on Alternia without something terrible happening. You aren't out here for very long before it starts raining? Shit, damn and fuck. You ditched the umbrella Tarona had given you since it was as heavy as a goddamn club, and now you're super regretting it. Running for shelter is all you can do. So you make a mad dash for one of the building awnings, huddling uncomfortably underneath it. The rain doesn't let up. You'll have to move soon. The security drones are beginning to look like they're planning on taking a few shots at you for loitering. You need to make a decision and fast. Oh, you mean like right now, huh? Well, I think I will meet control if I go in the building, so I'm gonna run back to my scuttle buggy and probably get killed by a drone. It's parked a ways away down the street, but if you run fast enough, you might be able to make it. You abandon the security of the metal awning, launching yourself back into the minor apocalypse that is regular Alternian weather. You should have been able to guess how this was going to go. The raindrops are too dense for you to successfully dodge them all, and your delicate human body isn't built to withstand nuclear-ass rain. Oh my god, you probably would have had better luck with the security drones. Wow guys, the acid rain killed me. Well, that didn't work. I mean, I expected it not to work, but that was not what I was expecting. Alright people, let's try to be smart and get into one of these buildings. There's no way you're getting into any of these without a passcode, but wait, you think you see someone coming your way. Perhaps they'll be your knight in shining armor? Whoa, she talks loud. So what you're telling me is that my appointment is cancelled? You're still some distance away, but she's looking right at you. You point at yourself questioningly, thinking she might be talking to you, but then you realize she's wearing a Bluetooth headset. Those are so last decade, man. Jeremy used to be so on the ball. Remember the time he gave me a full prong beautifying procedure right after the high blood ripped his arm off? But now he can't bounce back from what? Little dresser and the abdominal sausages. What happened? That boy is losing his touch. Looks like she's coming back from a jog, if the running shorts are anything to go by. If she's at all bothered by the acid glancing off her skin, sending dozens of little firecracker sparks in their wake, she isn't showing it. She seems much more preoccupied by the hurried conversation she's having on the phone. Most importantly, she's power walking to the entrance of this building, which must mean she lives here. This is your chance. You shuffle along under the awning, pressing yourself close to the side of the building, bug-like. You sort of wish she encountered you earlier when you were dodging rain like a rad action hero. Now you just look sort of cowardly and pathetic. Especially compared to her, she's striding along like absolutely nothing is gonna get in the way of her whatever business she's got going on, let alone a few paltry explosions. Actually, she's so focused on her call that she doesn't notice you until you're standing right next to her. Such an inconvenience. You can fully expect that I would be taking my business elsewhere from now on. Oh my, what do we have here? She transitions from hanging up the call to talking to you so quickly that it makes your head spin. Take this down. What? Strange little hornless creature parked in front of home, very puny and scared looking. Maybe if you could just like lower the volume of your voice. Can't only be the alien everyone has been talking about. Such an opportunity can't go to waste now, can it? You're confused again, looking around to see who she might be talking to, but there's nobody else here. Maybe she's dictating notes to her phone. Look at you. We can't have you wandering around outside like this, darling, can we? There are no punctuation anywhere. Aren't you ravishing? Oh my gosh, she's gonna eat me. Do give me the name of your stylist. So good to meet you. Here's my card. The name's Stelsa Sezyat, auditorizer and training for the Alternia Empire. Nice to meet you. Let's walk and talk. You didn't realize that borrowed hoodie was that impressive of a look, but okay. She produces a business card with one hand and inputs some numbers into the panel with the other. You take the card. It's a struggle to process what she's saying, respond to her questions, and introduce yourself, all while experiencing the verbal equivalent of getting hit by a truck. Yeah, that really is what it is. How is it possible to talk so fast without taking a breath? You can barely get a word in edgewise. Oh my gosh, she's talking so loud and like without stopping. Stelsa continues chattering away as she steps inside and waits for you to follow her into the apartment building's elevator. You do. So tell me, do you run any business on your planet? If you do, I would be more than happy to offer my services. They are very efficient and affordable, I can assure you. All your legal and financial documents will be checked over in no time. I'll make sure everything is running in tip-top shape. Oh my god. Whew, don't ever get her partner up with Tagora because they would be unstoppable. I'm so happy to run into you. Ever since Zizi told me she met you... who's Zizi? I literally don't know who Zizi is. Ever since Zizi told me she met you, I've been asking her to introduce me. It's so very important for a professional to continue growing her network, especially intergalactically, don't you agree? She's still busying herself with her phone while talking to, texting on his tiny keyboard? No, the name ZZ doesn't ring any bells. You flip through the Rolodex in your brain trying to remember. Yeah, I don't know who ZZ is. Have you really made so many friends that you're beginning to forget their names? You're a little impressed with yourself. Hey, you may have forgotten, but I don't remember anybody called ZZ. It feels like only yesterday that you were crawling around in the basement of a murderess and getting stabbed in the shin with a screwdriver. I forgot that happened. Just a single friend to your name. Good times. You've come so far since then, it brings a single sentimental tear to your eye. Wait, Stelsa's own name finally starts to register. You've heard it before. This is Tazias Matesprit. Oh, really? So she must be talking about Tazias. Really? I don't remember that. Murderesses, stabbing, very fascinating stuff, I'm sure. Yes, I'm referring to my darling Tazias, of course. You're at the door to her hive. She unlocks it, letting you both in. Come in, come in. Welcome to Stelsa Sezyat. Make yourself at home. Can you get you anything? Water, crumb cake, my rate sheet? I would love to continue our chat while I am a little less sweaty. Also, acid wreaks absolute havoc on the skin. You know how it is. I'll just jump into the ablution trap for a minute. Please excuse me. Won't be long. Back in 2 shakes of a quack beast gastric evacuation pillow. Can I take a breather? She talks so fast. Actually, you wouldn't know how it is, considering that the bucket load of acid falling on you would leave you either very injured or very dead. And she's already gone. You're a little relieved. It's not that Stelsa isn't friendly. She's plenty friendly. In fact, she's too friendly. She just approaches friendship in a way that makes you feel a little like a line on her to-do list that she's in a hurry to check off. You're absolutely right, dude. Or well, she seems like she wants you as some sort of work contact, not a friend. But that's okay. You've worn many hats in the pursuit of friendship. Clown cultist, impromptu shush pepper, murder accomplice, business associate is one of the tamer ones on the list. Now that you no longer have to keep up with her mile-a-minute conversation, you can take a proper look around her hive and take a proper breather, man. I haven't like breathed since she came in. You're not sure what's more perturbing? The sheer amount of paint that's accosting your eyeballs, or the fact that everything is so painstakingly organized that it's making you a little uncomfortable. How are they made spreads, man? Have you seen Tazias' goddamn office? Shit is all over the place, but she's completely organized. Opposites. It's like you merely standing here is disrupting the careful order of the room. Her shelves are crammed full of books, all neatly arranged according to topic, with each topic displayed on a little label on each shelf. She also has a lot of posters featuring motivational slogans underneath a striking nature photography. The only normal looking spot in the hive is a coffee table with a mishmash of personal belongings piled on top of it. Books, papers, a jacket. You think that might be a mug? Oh, is it from Tazias? None of those items strike you as being particularly Stelsa style. Oh, they must belong to Tazias, right? The overall effect is that of a very pink, very neat office cubicle. You almost feel like you should start chugging mediocre coffee and complaining about how much you hate Mondays. So sorry that kept you waiting. Whoa, she took off her pink jacket or whatever that was. Stelsa re-emerges, her hair wrapped in a towel. She showers fast too, what the hell? She talks fast, she walks fast, she showers fast. Well, it's been a blast getting to know you. We should get lunch sometime, keep the conversation going. I'll pencil you in, darling. But for now, I have a bit of a dilemma to deal with. That sounds worrying like a dismissal. You sneak a glance at the schedule on our bulletin board. It's a blaze of color with barely any free slots. You don't want to be penciled in. You have no idea when she might be available next. And you need her sweet friendship now? Okay, geez, dude, calm down. You just said you were not feeling the friendship, today. Maybe whatever problem she has is something you could help with. Unless you're a ludicrously talented beautician, I think not. My usual places bump me off their list, and right before a very important meeting too. A girl has to look her best for these things to really knock their socks off. If I want to make an arrangement at another salon, I still have to move fast, no time to waste. Maybe you could take a chill pill and just, just calm down. Why not use the extra time to do more prep for the meeting? I don't think that's something she would do. She's for it. It's an excellent idea. I visited this potential client's establishment a while ago, but it was a quick one. I could do well to cast my gander bulbs around the place properly. It's pretty much in the bag, but this meeting is the clincher and there's no way I can flub it. Having Remily Namak as a client would be too good of a cluck beast plume in my pan lid for me to chuck the opportunity in the load gaper. Remily? You totally know her, how about that? Yes, I would hope you did, darling. She's only been splashed all over the papers lately with that stunt of hers. Oh, they actually know she stole that crap that they didn't know. Buying out her competitor like that? I've never heard the likes of it before. Okay, that's a different story. She's flitting around her hive as she speaks, nipping into what you assume is her bedroom to blow her hair dry before shuffling some papers into a handbag. She probably just flamethrowers her hair dry because she needs it to be dry fast. You tail her as best as you can, feeling a bit like a pet cat underfoot who's threatening to trip her at every turn. Maintaining a career as a successful yet relatively avant-garde artist is very different to assuming ownership of and managing a museum, and yes, she has made it work. Well, sounds like Remily has been busy since the last time you saw her. You clarified that Remily is a friend of yours, actually? Stelsa stops in her tracks. Really? Why didn't you say so in the first place? Well, I was trying to talk, but I couldn't in between all your words. You should come with me. Getting the 411 on Remily from a friend of hers could really give me a front up. What do you say? You're not sure there's much you can tell Stelsa about Remily? You're pretty sure Remily doesn't want an otter in training? Or, well, anyone really knowing that she's an art thief? Yeah, probably not. But, why not? There has to be some stray info about Remily knocking around in the old noggin that might come in useful. Marvelous. Come on, you can tell me on the way. She takes your hand and pulls you out the door. You offer Stelsa a ride in your totally not stolen scuttle buggy. It's still raining, but she shields you both with an umbrella that's almost as big as you are as you walk to where it's parked. You get in, put some tunes on for the road, and head off. Oh, nice car. Once you're on your way, you admit to Stelsa that most of your and Remily's conversations just involve her bouncing ideas off of you for her web comic. I forgot that was a thing. But you're still happy to answer any questions she might have about Remily's overall deal. You're expecting her to be disappointed, but her eyes practically light up. What a privilege. To be completely truthful, I am quite the fan. I have been following her webcomic for a while. She admits this kind of sheepishly. Does she think that liking comics is embarrassing? Of course not. Okay, maybe a little. It seems irresponsible to spend time on something as flippant as a comic on the internet when I have so much other business to attend to. Lots of irons in the fire over here. Achievements don't achieve themselves, Oh, wait, irons in the fire. Why would you use that statement, Stelsa? Maybe, but hobbies and downtime are important too. You never feel more rested than after you've let yourself do absolutely nothing but enjoy a good comic. What? She looks at you blankly. She can't comprehend the thought of taking things chill at a, leisure pace. Rest? Oh, I always make sure to get enough recuperation every day. No concerns there to be sure. What you're talking about is a bit different from getting enough sleep, but you try a different tack. Why is she taking this job with Remily anyway? Isn't she busy enough with her training? Well, sure, I have that internship with the Alternia government as well, but there can never be enough experience under one's belt. You're beginning to see what the problem is. You get the feeling that Stelsa might be a bit of a workaholic, just vaguely. Has she ever considered... You're so involved in trying to convince Stelsa of the merits of getting her chill on that you don't realize there's anything wrong. Not until Stelsa lets out a screech that almost bursts your eardrums. Fiddlesticks, we can't go this way, there's a road work happening here. The skittle buggy must be operating with an outdated map. Oh, we're gonna die, guys. Switch to the manual and turn us around quick. Sorry, you think I know how to drive? The road work Stelsa is referring to is a bridge with a "Do Not Enter" sign hastily put up. Beyond the sign, the bridge is peppered with enormous holes. Some look big enough for the entire car to fall through easily. What are you waiting for? Hurry! Well, there is one small problem. You can't drive. Oh, fudge nuggets! Stelsa presses a few buttons, switching the controls to manual. You grab the wheel, turning it wildly. Your only goal is to make sure you don't drive onto the death bridge. You probably should have paid attention to the steep slope curving away from the road. Oh god, guys, we're gonna die. You both yell as the scuttle buggy nooms downwards at full tilt. Miraculously, it doesn't tip, but it does slam into a power line, sending the two of you lurching forward. We're all dead, guys. If it wasn't for the unnerving lung-like airbags that inflate in front of you, you would have shot out the front window. Anxiously, you ask if Stelsa is okay. Stelsa doesn't seem too concerned about whether she's injured or not. She's making a futile attempt to push the airbags out of the way so she can get out of the car. There's no way we will make my meeting on time now. And I look an absolute mess. She's right. Her hair, which was all gentle, soft tufts before, is sticking up in all directions, and her glasses have smashed in a collision. Why did I think this was a good idea? I should have just walked. Thanks for nothing. All harsh, man. The car might have survived the crash, but if Stelsa's cranky expression is anything to go by, your budding friendship with her wasn't as lucky. Oh, she does look a mess. Fashion fox pass. Well, I'm sorry, but it's not my fault technically. Well, clearly going outside in the acid rain is not a good idea. I don't know whoever thought it was a good idea, okay? We can just do this ourselves, right? Who needs a beautician when you're around? That's right, guys. I am also a beautician. You have absolutely no professional beauty experience, but Sarava did give you that crash course in crafting great looks. Stelsa is probably after a vibe that's a little less moisture wave, but you're sure you can whip something up. You tell her that you'll help her get ready instead, right here in her hive. Ooh, how nice of you. I've never had a house call before. Let's do this. Let's do this, guys. She leads you into the next room, rubbing her hair dry as she goes. There's a recuperator cone in one corner and a vanity in the other, with an array of posts, brushes, and other mysterious implements spread out on its surface. Some of them are disturbingly pointy. Oh well, you're sure you'll be able to figure out what they're all for once you start using them. My character just wings everything. Stelsa takes a seat in a chair in front of the vanity, holding her hands primly in her lap. So, darling, what do you think? What should we do first? It's all up to you. Not this again. Why are you always making all the decisions around here? What you wouldn't give to be able to foist your own life choices off on random people you've just met, it would be refreshing. Well, technically, I'm making choices for you, so... Oh, jeez, I gotta decide? I don't know how you could polish horns, but I guess let's do that. You pick up a velvety piece of cloth, bringing it up to Stelsa's head. There's only one thing this can be for, right? Wait, what are you going to do with that? Polish your horns to an impressive sheen, of course. They'll be positively gleaming by the time you're done with them. She grabs your wrist with one hand before you can do so. She's deceptively strong, holding you in such an ironclad grip that you can't move your arm at all. You've been low-key admiring her toned arms earlier, but now you know for sure that the rack of hot pink dumbbells in the living room aren't just for show. Instead of looking pleased with what you propose to do, she looks uneasy? Possibly even a little embarrassed? Why? Do wiping horns have other connotations that I don't know about? Polish my... You barely get a glimpse of her discomfited expression before she's gracing you with another friendly smile, albeit a bit of a straining one. You know, I think I'm having second thoughts. It's reasonable to expect that an alien like you wouldn't know the first thing about troll grooming habits. My mistake, I should have accounted for such cultural differences. But it's quite alright, I shall figure something else out. Is it just you, or was there a pointed pause before cultural differences? She's getting up again. Wait, what's happening? You thought the two of you were going to bond over a sweet makeover session, but she's pushing you back into the main area of her hive, pretty forcefully too. Well, I'm sorry. Thank you for offering your help, dear. So very kind of you, but I'll manage. Great to meet you, just wonderful. Call me, take care, have a nice life. Toodles, goodbye. She shoots you another lovely yet very clearly fake smile and shoves you out of the door. You'll be able to wait out the rain just fine in this hallway, but being sprawled on your ass on Stelsa's welcome mat all by your lonesome just isn't the same as hanging out with a new friend. Oh, game over. Awkward. No idea what the horn biz is all about, but let's style the hair like a normal person would. Why would we even polish the horns? That's ridiculous. The first order of business should be drying Stelsa's hair. You pick up a funnel-shaped doohickey that looks like it might be a hairdryer, fumbling around for a button. There isn't one, but you manage to turn it on by giving it a good squeeze. I'm sorry, what? The mouth of the funnel opens up wide, emitting a hot blast of air along with a hoarse animal yell. You think you might actually see teeth inside? Oh god. Just don't think about it too much. That's the best you can do when it comes to literally any Alternian gadget. Thankfully, the noise soon fades to a low hum. Here, use this. Stelsa passes you a piece of thorny bramble. It looks painful, but when you begin brushing Stelsa's hair, she sighs happily. Interesting being in this position for once. When Sezyat is over, usually I am the one doing this. Yeah, she needs some like massive help because she's just too tired to do anything. You try to imagine Sezyat letting someone give her a sweet do, even when it's her girlfriend in question. You have a hard time picturing it. Stelsa laughs. She has a surprisingly pretty musical laugh. No, my dear Zizi isn't one for involved beauty rituals. She usually doesn't let me do more than just brush it, but it's still relaxing. Sliding the brush through Stelsa's hair is pretty relaxing. You allow yourself to zen out for a moment before shaking yourself out of it, casting around for something to talk about. That's what good hairdressers do, right? Strike up casual conversation. Dude, talk about Zizi, okay? I want to hear the dish. I want to hear the gossip. Your eyes fall on an open book sitting on the table. It's the only object there that doesn't have anything to do with hair care or beauty, so it stands out like a sore thumb. Just like the items on the coffee table, it's strewn too haphazardly to look like it belongs to Stelsa. You think you see some of the tabs Sezyat was using on the notes for a group project. And if you look even closer, you think you catch the words revolt and history in the page header. Right, as Sezyat's mate spirit, Stelsa probably has big plans for dismantling the system from the inside too, after she becomes an otter. You remark that you think it's really cool what she and Sezyat are doing. I don't think that's what they're doing. I mean, Sezyat might be, but I don't think she is. It might be scary to stick it to the man like that, but someone has to do it. Okay, it's not exactly light conversation, but talking to Sezyat about this had been so enlightening, if sad, that you really bonded over it. Maybe you'll be able to bond with Stelsa the same way. But Stelsa only looks confused. Then her eyes flick down to the book, just for a second, before she reaches out, smartly snaps it shut, and squirrels it away in one of the jars. The sound of the jar slamming makes you jump, and you narrowly avoid pulling Stelsa's hair. I am quite sure I don't know what you're talking about. I am not sticking anything anywhere. Definitely not to any man. Of course not. And neither is Sezyat. She's sitting straight and tense in the chair. Now, her voice soaring to a high, bordering on hysterical pitch. Oh no, she probably doesn't know you're on their side. Sezyat might not have told her about your conversation. Actually, I just think she doesn't know what Sezyat is, up to. It's okay, you're not going to tell anyone. You're sworn to secrecy. But Stelsa averts her eyes, a stubborn set to her chin. Again, I have no idea what you're talking about, not a single clue. Or maybe she does know, she's faking it. Sezyat and myself are both law-abiding subjects of the Empire. It's hard to tell what she actually feels like, considering everything she's saying is like yelling, We don't dabble in such foolish things as sympathizing with rebels. What would that possibly accomplish? She wrings her hands distractedly. We do things the way we do in Alternia for a reason, darling. Without the hemospectrum and the roles we each need to play, why, the world would be plunged into complete chaos. Can you even imagine? Trolls running around not knowing which way is up, doing whatever they please, no one to tell them what their place in the world is. She goes from hand-wringing to gesticulating wildly, almost knocking a row of jars off the table, positively frantic at the prospect of societal breakdown. It's better for everyone this way. I truly believe that. You're beginning to realize that you might have put your foot in your mouth, just a little bit. Stuff a toe or two in that gob of yours, maybe. She sounds way too earnest for this to be a cover-up. Okay. Could it be possible that Stelsa really does side with what Sezyat called her? The Condes? And that she doesn't know about Sezyat's underground research after all? But the book was right there. I mean, just because Sezyat is researching it doesn't mean she's actually doing anything, You're so confused. Talking about this is clearly distressing Stelsa though, so you drop it, focusing on finishing up her hair instead. It's pretty soft now that it's dry. You're not sure you've styled it correctly, but she seems pleased. Okay, I think what it is like Stelsa knows, like subconsciously or like internally she knows, but she's just not ready to face that truth, She's just like, we gotta work for the Empire. Sezyat, what do you do? We can't do this rebel stuff. So she's like, she's lying to herself basically. Great work, nice, fantastic. You did an excellent job. You go out to praise. You say thanks, but she's already passing you a bottle of nail polish. She really wants you to go all the way, huh? You twist it open and get to work. You're too focused on not smudging the teal color over the stately points of her claws to talk, but Stelsa breaks the silence. I have a question for you. You nod, sticking your tongue out in concentration. So I have this acquaintance, is it you? This is the most tentative you've heard her so far. You weren't sure her vocal cords were capable of it. They are in a quadrant with someone who harbors views most would consider subversive if not outright treasonous. See, I totally knew it. She knows, but she doesn't want to outright say it, you know? She's obviously talking about herself and Sezyat, but you don't want to point that out in case she gets upset again, so you just nod along thoughtfully. She didn't always. The mate spirit, I mean. It will blow over at some point. She must just be going through a difficult phase. But in the meantime, she could get into so much trouble. Stelsa's lower lip wobbles like she's about to cry. You chew on the inside of your cheek, trying to figure out what to say. Talking to Sezyat very much did not leave you with the impression that it was a phase. She sounded pretty serious. Does Stelsa's friend have any idea that this is going on? She looks at the jar. So do you. Yeah. Nope. You resist the urge to massage your temples. No idea at all? Absolutely not. Alright, okay, you can do this. A good first step might be for her friend to face up to the issue. You know, if there's the chance they have the tiniest inkling about what might be happening, so the two of them can talk about it. Talk about it? Yeah, you're no expert, but open discussion probably helps with relationship problems quite a bit. Plus, you ruminate to yourself. The more you think about it, the less it seems that Sezyat leaving her controversial book out like that was an accident. That's true, man. That's true. My character is really smarting up right now. It was right in front of Stelsa's chair, after all. Maybe Sezyat wanted Stelsa to see it. You slicked the last bit of color onto Stelsa's pinky claw a while ago, but you're both too wrapped up in the conversation to suggest that you move on to something else. She lets the polish dry while the two of you continue to talk. My friend does not agree with her mate's sentiments. Discussing it would just cause unnecessary friction, wouldn't it? Maybe, but even so, addressing the issue is probably better than pretending it isn't there. Besides, quadrant mates can coexist regardless of differing beliefs, right? Well, maybe. I don't know about this one though. Yeah, you don't sound convincing even to yourself, but the platitudes seem to comfort Stelsa somewhat. Maybe you're right. Carefully mindful of her just dried nails, she wipes away a few tears, much to your horror. Was that the wrong thing to say? But then you notice that she's smiling. I have not spoken about that to anyone before now. Telling you about it was truly a load off my bellow sac cavity. I am certain my friend will be grateful as well. I shall relay your advice accordingly as soon as I can. You smile back at her weakly. You haven't been able to relate to very much when it comes to Alternia life, but boy can you relate to relationship drama. And trolls sure seem to have plenty of it. You have a lot of that friendship drama too. You hope everything turns out alright. For her friend. Since her voice is all sniffly and her eyelashes still wet, you retrieve a frilly box of hand tissues and hold it out to her. Hoping that will help, she pulls out a few and blows her nose on them with a sad honking noise. Don't bring the honking noises here. I should finish getting ready. She seems reluctant to get up though. You'd probably be the same, knowing you had to head into a serious business meeting after spilling your heart like that. Experiencing emotions is tiring. Eventually though, Stelsa musters up enough energy to get to her feet. Much to your surprise, instead of immediately rushing off to complete her next pre-meeting task, she pulls you into a tight hug. Thank you. You're a real friend. Oh, guys. She considers me a real friend. And there it is. Not colleague, not potential client, but that wonderful friendship word. Oh, guys. Friends forever. We even get the little diamond thing. Ah, so sweet. Alright guys, I feel like these two trolls that we befriended kind of gave a little bit more to the whole, you know, rebel empire crap. I don't know what's quite happening with the, God, what's her name? Bodor or whatever. That was really weird. Like, I don't really quite understand like what their significance was, and like I couldn't understand the friendship thing either. And then in both endings, she gets poisoned and like, and once she dies, I think. But then after that, it was like some weird message. Who I don't even know who's saying that, but it was, I forgot what it was. But like something like, "This is happening again," or like I gotta take care of this or some crap. I feel like that is important, but I don't know what kind of significance that is. So we gotta keep that in mind, because these two characters, I feel like, are starting to get more like important to the story. Because even with Stelsa, it was kind of like talking about how Sezyat is kind of trying to get her on board with the whole, you know, going against the Empire sort of situation. Because I feel like she's not like strongly for the Empire like Torona was, but she's just more like, you know, this is the thing. This is how society is. We can't rebel against the freaking government. But you know, her girlfriend is like super passionate about that. She's just worried about her, you know, her life and stuff. So I like these two friendship routes because it adds a lot more to the, I feel like, the main story of the, you know, whole rebel stuff. But that boater thing, man, I don't know what's going on with that. So I don't know, but let me know what you guys think, y'all. So thank you so much for watching this. Tell me what you guys think about that boater thing in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video.